everyone, I'm Riya Mittal and welcome back to another informative session where we talk about VAT compliances in Europe and UK. So we had an event a couple of months back and it was called Go Global 2021, and we saw you, we heard you, and we know that you want to learn more about VAT compliances in Europe and UK. So here we are with Chris Hara from Hellotax, and he will be talking about all the important things that you need to know before you start selling in EU and UK. So of course, there are a lot of challenges and differences in UK and Europe right now in terms of after Brexit, there are a lot of new things happening. So let's understand how the VAT system looks like there. So help me invite our speaker for today. So here's Chris. Hi, Chris. How's it going?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. I think this is a very important topic for us to talk about. So if I'm not wrong, we're going to be talking about first how the users are going to be affected after Brexit is over, and then we're going to talk about OSS. So would you like to introduce yourself, what Hellotax is, and about today's topic a little bit?
Sure. I'm Chris Chara. As you mentioned, I'm the operations manager at Hellotax, with several experience in accounting and let's say a passionate of e-commerce and all the VAT topics since I joined Hellotax. Hellotax is a company that allows e-commerce sellers to grow their businesses by taking away that burden of administrative duties related to VAT, and also taking care about their compliance, which is obviously, if not being kept, can lead to high costs and actually has a big negative impact on their businesses. Therefore, we are trying to always be on top of all the changes, and here today we're gonna speak, as you mentioned, about some new reality for online sellers that would like to sell in UK, but also, let's say, as a small portion of what to do if you're an UK company and would like to still be selling after Brexit, a kind of a solution that we would be rather suggesting. Then the OSS, that will be also an important thing for everyone to follow and to act on it as well. So let's hope the way that we're going to bring it today is going to allow everyone to understand when we stand.
Definitely. Also, I would like to tell you all, guys, that the video is going to be time-stamped. So in case you feel like you want to take a break, you can stop the video and then resume it again afterwards, because again, the video is time-stamped, so you can go chapter-wise. So in order for you to access the chapters, you have to click on the timestamp. If you can see introduction written on the bottom of the video right now, you can click on it and you'll be able to access all the chapters. And yeah, it just makes viewing experience more better on YouTube, I believe. So back to the webinar. Yes, Chris, let's get started with your presentation and let's understand how sellers are going to be affected after Brexit, or are already affected after Brexit.
Well, yeah, they are. Good. Let's start. Let me share my screen with the presentation. So yeah. A little about the agenda. So what we mentioned already. So the changes in Brexit, and then the OSS. So there are a lot of questions and a lot of actually requirements that are coming with OSS that might be not that easy to follow. So we're gonna then split it in parts and hopefully explain it as good as we can. Now, in regards to those changes that we mentioned for e-commerce sellers that would like to wish still to be selling in UK, there are different regulations if you are, let's say, storing in UK and not storing to UK. Mostly the changes that here were already in UK introduced from 1st January 2021, they are also going to be introduced now in Europe in the from 1st July, and these are the online marketplaces responsibilities for VAT and for, let's say, all the products that are coming in the UK. Okay, so let's say if you are selling, if you have an online, let's say your own web shop, follows a bit of a different regulations, but if you have an account on Amazon, on similar marketplaces, and your goods are being actually shipped from, let's say, Germany, let's say China, doesn't really matter now from UK perspective, it's all the same, to any UK customer, then this kind of a good this kind of a product is being actually taxed by Amazon, and therefore that responsibility for those taxes is more on that online marketplaces than on the seller. And it also changes in regards of that value. Here we have that information. If that value is below 135 pounds, then this marketplace is responsible. If it's above that, then we are still talking about a normal import, which follows the old regulations. There are some exceptions here for B2B sales as well. I will not go that much into the details here on this slide, but I will be specifically mentioning those ones in the next slides during the OSS and the part that is introduced to Europe. Everything here is, let's say, it's similar in regards to this online marketplaces responsibilities in UK and in EU. Well, if you are now storing in UK and the goods are actually being shipped from UK, then still, if you are a non-UK company, the online marketplace will also be the one that is actually responsible for the tax. It will happen through some levels that we're gonna also speak later on. The most important thing that you have to keep in mind is that you will be getting the net amount from that sales. Yeah, so Amazon will, or other marketplace, will be collecting that VAT. If you are selling on your own website to your own little shop, things are not going to change for you in that manner. Yeah? So you still need to be aware that even though Amazon or other marketplace will be collecting some of your VAT, if you have any sale outside of it, you will still have to pay it. And it also is there are also different regulations for B2B sales within UK. So some actually, let's say, clients or leads that we have in contacting us, asking some questions. What do I have to do? Will the things change? Will I not have to be registered in UK if I just would like to sell to UK clients? We say, well, that depends. And here also is that the difference between the storing and not storing. Well, if you are storing in UK, you have to be registered for VAT. And although you might be selling through this online marketplace, you will have to do reporting. So it's not like, oh, okay, Amazon or whoever going to take my VAT responsibilities and I don't have to make submissions of my returns. Unfortunately, not that easy. And unfortunately, although it seemed like it's a simplification, we will get to it that it's partially a simplification, but partially actually makes the things also complex. Yeah. So that's this part. And what about the UK companies, UK sellers that would like to still continue doing the trade in European Union? Well, some of those regulations that we were mentioning before that are applicable for non-UK companies will be applicable in EU for UK companies, which will be non-EU companies. Kind of the same logic that if you are outside of EU, to be, let's say, on the same competitive level that other sellers, you should be storing in EU. If you are storing in EU, you can ship your goods easily to your clients. Although Amazon or other online marketplace, if you would be selling through such one, might be taking part of your VAT regulations, as responsibilities, still you will be able to ship your products in a very convenient time, which is, I think, one of the most important factors currently. People just want everything to be right in their house, let's say the next day, preferably. So obviously here it has the same thing. You store, you need to have a registration. You have a registration, you need to submit your VAT returns. For imports to EU, you also have to have an EORI number and a custom agent. That's also important to know. Yeah. Now that's more or less about the Brexit and those topics, and kind of an intro to OSS as well, as those changes that are related to OSS, as I said, are also similar to the ones that we just were speaking about in Brexit for those non-UK companies. Really, you know, what is one-stop shop? Well, one-stop shop is a way, or is actually a simplification by which was taught for little companies, e-commerce sellers that mostly store in maybe one or two countries top, that are selling through Europe and would like to avoid that burden of being registered after they meet that distance sale threshold limit. Yeah, those threshold limits, well, they were set up for, let's say, 35,000 euros, and if you sell something above, so maybe not such small sellers, but it's not such a significant number as well. I mean, in general, it is easy to meet for a lot of e-commerce sellers within a year, to any country in Europe, really. And that was the key factor that was indicating those changes. Now, the regulations in regards to one-stop shop, they are a bit different for EU clients and non-EU clients. For EU clients, the one-stop shop means that they can register for that new scheme that, as I said, is taking away that obligation of registering to each of those countries after the threshold limits are being met, only to their home country. For non-EU clients, let's say in a UK company that is registered in Germany, France, Poland, Czech Republic, wherever, they can choose one of those places that they would like to get registered in for OSS. Yeah, that choice is valid for 2 years, and we also say that's the member state of identification. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, and the important thing is to know that this OSS scheme is applicable, or is only focused on that kind of a sale that happens to customers, let's say, not to companies. So we say B2C sale that is also cross-border. Now, in that situation, normally our clients in Hellotax, they have at least one warehouse outside their home country. Yeah, and all the sales that is happening from their home country warehouse and this external, let's say this third country warehouse, needs to be reported in this one OSS report. Everything combined, all those B2C cross-border movements. So the VAT registration is always required when you store. This is not changing. Yeah. And for yes.
Okay. So do I need more than one registration while registering for OSS, or will I have to register multiple times?
No, you register only to one. Let's say if you are, as said, if you are a EU company, you register only in your home country, really. So if you are a company from Germany, then you can only register in Germany. You have no other country to choose from. Yeah. If you are a, let's say, UK company, then you can choose one of those, and you register once, and then you do the reporting. It's basically like another VAT registration. Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So, what is the type of sales that we have here? What I was mentioning before, that the OSS is B2C sale. How it's being called in the law, and maybe our viewers here will be also interested on how that is officially named, and it says that it's being called intra-community distance sales of goods. Okay, so and that's that scheme. That scheme is called union scheme. That is rated, therefore, as I was mentioning, only to B2C, and B2B cross-border is following the same regulations as before, as the domestic sale. So that's also a question that we often get. So what do I have to report in my home country then, or where do I have to report in that country where I have also OSS registration? Do I have still to submit my normal VAT returns? And the answer here is yes, because OSS only covers a part of it. So everything which is like a B2B transborder sale, cross-border sale, or domestic sale, that goes to your normal VAT return, normal EC list. So this European goods movements report. Yeah, and there's actually one thing that is also important here to mention. We talk about the simplification, that you don't have to worry about the thresholds anymore. But actually, there's a side comment here. It's not that those thresholds stay the same. Okay, so it's actually, from one hand, they are taking away those regulations are taking away that obligation of registering, but also they are changing the thresholds. And actually, for those little ones, so the ones that have only the warehouse in their home country, the threshold is being changed to 10,000 euro. But 10,000 euro calculated from all their cross-border transactions to all the countries. So it's not like 10,000 euro for Germany, for Poland, for Spain, and then 10,000 for France. No, it's 10,000 in total. So if you sell from Germany, which is your home country, you sell 5K to Spain and then 5K to Czech, then altogether 10,000, and you are already above the threshold. And from that moment, you either have to report it in OSS, or you have to have a registration in any country that you ship to from that point onwards, even if it's like for 1 cent or something. You sell it to Slovakia, you sell it to Croatia, you have to register there. Yeah, so the distance threshold limit are for you then met in all other EU countries. Yeah, and this situation is even more demanding for clients that have storage in more than one country, because from their perspective, the threshold limit is 0 from day one. They are already above the threshold limit. Yeah. So they have to register either to all the countries that they would like to ship to, so to all the countries that they do B2C sales, or they can register to OSS, which is, let's say, our suggested way to deal with those changes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here I have also a kind of a slide in regards to what we just mentioned with Brexit. I was saying that these are the same, or they are very similar, those changes. So actually, if you are a non-EU seller and you are making B2C sales to to EU clients, sorry for that, to EU clients within EU, then here online marketplaces can also be collecting VAT. And if you are doing sale that is coming from China, from UK to EU clients, then you also the transaction will also be actually treated by the online marketplaces as their own responsibility. Yeah. And this cycle I was mentioning before, this is a cycle of how the transaction actually is being reported and what are the steps of it. So first we have the moment where the marketplace is collecting the payment, and from VAT regulations, that's the moment when we say that it took place. when the marketplace took the payment from a UK from EU client for a transaction that was, let's say, done by a non-EU seller, which is storing in EU. All right, they took the payment, and then they are actually buying the product from that seller. So let's say in an online marketplace like Amazon is buying the product from the seller, and then they are the ones selling it to the final client. Yeah? While what they pay you out is actually the net amount. Yeah? The VAT, however, they pass to the tax office. And that transaction also needs to be obviously collected in your VAT return, so collected in your report and then sent to the tax office. Yeah. In the presentation here, I will not speak a lot about it, but our viewers can stop here and can go dig into the details. Not such an easy topic and not relevant for majority of e-commerce sellers. How do we decide that the marketplace is a deemed supplier for a given transaction? There are just certain conditions that you have to meet. You can read about them here. From the perspective of, let's say, our clients or normally clients of any VAT service provider, such information are coming from the marketplace. So the marketplace is actually providing that information. Hey, I'm responsible for this and you're responsible for that. Yeah. But here are also some regulations on how to decide or how to just have a picture of how that should work. Yeah, in general. And that's all from my side. So I'm open here to also spread the topic with some additional questions that I think you have prepared as well.
Yeah, I do have some questions that I need to ask you. So also guys, we have a promotion running. Hellotax has partnered up with SellerApp and we have a promotion running. So check the description box below to get your coupon code and what exactly the discount is and just avail the offer while it lasts. So yes, Chris, let's talk about some questions. So my first question is, who can file my OSS? Like, is it have to be me or how does the filing process go?
OSS can be filed by anyone that you authorize, but also can be filed by you. It's in every country, almost every country, the same thing. There are certain countries which require that such reporting is done by an authorized accountant, but these are the same regulations that follow, let's say, the VAT submissions. All right, so there are certain countries where you would have a difficulty in filing it, but let's say you are a EU client. If you are an EU client, really, then normally this shouldn't be an issue for you. You could file your VAT returns in your home country as well yourself. You are allowed to do that, yeah, and you are also allowed to do that with OSS. For non-EU clients, that's different. Obviously, that might be different. In some countries, it is possible. In others, you need to have someone in that country to really do it. So it all depends on country regulations, really. In general, I would say for EU clients, not an issue to file yourself. For non-EU for EU clients, I said, right? For non-EU clients, it all depends which country is being chosen. But I would say for non-EU clients, normally they anyway would like someone else to file it. Yeah,
makes sense. I mean, it's better to get it done by an authorized accountant in the first place to make sure that you're not going wrong anywhere, because I'm an extra cautious person. So I let people who are good at it do their thing. Also, is OSS mandatory to file? Is it like compulsory to file OSS or I can skip it?
No, it's as we were talking about those thresholds, really, you have, I would say, that's my comment, by the way, it's an illusion of a choice, right? Because you can make a choice. You don't have to register for SS. You don't have to. But the consequence is that you have a lot of VAT obligations in all other countries too. It's actually okay. You don't have to, but you actually should. Right. And we also offer that service of OSS registration. We help with that, and we help with filings as well. And I guess other VAT service providers do the same. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, because making lives easier. All right. And do I get to see my business, like B2B business transactions, in the OSS report as well?
No, in OSS report, we only report the B2C transactions. So if you wish to see the B2B ones, then that's the part of the VAT report for that country from which those transactions took place. Yeah, so where the products were dispatched. Yeah.
Right. And one last question that I see that we're receiving from the audience right now is, can I deregister my VAT ID in the countries where I do not store?
Yes, that's up to a choice of a seller, and it's actually also advice, because if you are just registered in that country because you met the threshold limit previously, then indeed it makes no sense for you from 1st July to have that VAT registration open. Everything can be then reported via this OSS report, as we spoke.
Okay, and when I'm filing my OSS report, can I include my import and export expenses in there as well, or should I exclude it?
No, everything that is related to imports or purchases, whatever the VAT deductible amounts you have, that needs to be included in your country VAT return. As said, OSS is only for reporting B2C cross-border sales. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for answering all these questions. I think I have a lot more clarity on what OSS is, all the changes that EU and UK are going through after Brexit. So thank you so much for being here, Chris. Is there anything you would like to add before we end the session?
Yeah, it's. I'm glad that I was invited to this webinar, and I hope things were clarified also for our e-commerce sellers. Yeah, and feel free to contact us at Hellotax if you need support in your VAT obligations. All from my side. Thank you.
Perfect. And thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this webinar, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel to join our SellerApp community. Do not forget to hit that bell icon so you're notified each time we upload a new video. Until the next time, happy selling.